Have you ever heard of Generation X? Born roughly between 1965 and 1980, they're often called the Latchkey generation, and their unique childhood has shaped them in profound ways. Let's dive into the psychology of Gen X and explore how their early experiences continue to influence them today. Imagine this. You come home from school, let yourself in with your own key, and you're on your own until your parents get back from work. This was the reality for millions of Gen X kids. It wasn't neglect, it was just how things were. The economy was changing, more women were entering the workforce, and divorce rates were rising. This environment fostered an incredible sense of independence and self-reliance from a very young age. Psychologically, this meant Gen X learned to solve their own problems. They didn't have parents hovering over their homework or organizing their social lives. They figured things out. This has made them some of the most resourceful and adaptable adults you'll ever meet. This independence, however, came with a side of skepticism. Growing up, Gen X witnessed major societal shifts and scandals, from Watergate to the energy crisis. They saw institutions they were told to trust fail. This bred a healthy dose of cynicism. They learned not to take things at face value and to question authority. In the workplace today, this translates into a preference for authenticity and a dislike for corporate jargon and empty promises. They value straight talk and real results. If you want to earn a Gen X's trust, you have to prove you're worthy of it. Now, let's talk about technology. Gen X is a unique bridge generation. They remember a world without the internet, a time of rotary phones and encyclopedias, but they were also young enough to embrace the digital revolution as it happened. They learned to code on bulky desktops in school, played the first video games, and were the first generation to use email and instant messaging as young adults. This dual experience gave them a balanced perspective on technology. They're not digital natives like Millennials or Gen Z, but they're far from being tech illiterate. They appreciate the convenience of technology, but also remember how to function without it, giving them a unique adaptability in our hyper-connected world. This resourcefulness extends to their personal lives and finances. Many Gen Xers entered the workforce during economic uncertainty and recessions. They learned early on that job security wasn't a guarantee. This has made them pragmatic and cautious with money. They're often diligent savers and savvy investors, prioritizing financial stability because they know what it's like to live without it. They're not about flashy displays of wealth. They're about building a secure foundation for themselves and their families. This cautious approach is a direct result of the economic anxieties they witnessed growing up. Culturally, Gen X was shaped by a boom in pop culture that was distinctly their own. MTV, iconic movies like The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and the birth of alternative rock and hip-hop gave them a strong cultural identity. This wasn't the mainstream culture of their parents, it was something they carved out for themselves. It was often angsty, ironic, and anti-establishment, reflecting their general worldview. This cultural identity fostered a sense of shared experience and a quiet solidarity among them. They might not be the loudest generation, but they know who they are. So what does this all mean for Gen X today? They are now in their prime, often in leadership positions at work and raising their own families. Their independent, skeptical, and resourceful nature makes them fantastic problem solvers and resilient leaders. They value work-life balance because they remember what it was like when their parents were always working. They encourage their own kids' independence, but perhaps with a bit more supervision than they received. The Latchkey kid has grown up. They've traded their house keys for mortgages, their mixtapes for streaming playlists, and their cynicism for a pragmatic realism. They are the quiet engine of our society, the generation that learned to raise itself and in doing so developed a unique psychological toolkit that continues to serve them well. They are the living proof that the challenges of our childhood can become the greatest strengths of our adulthood. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this look into the Gen X mindset interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you next time.